What's going on, everybody? It's Rick. This is the natural bedding bin. The worms have been doing a great job. A little paper bag still holding strong, so I'll be able to reuse that. And check out this last feeding area. I don't know what if anything's still there, but man, there is a lot of worms. Thinking it's that the stalks from the comfrey. This looks like some of that, I think it was watermelon skin. It's kind of amazing how such a fast food like watermelon, the skin takes a long time, kind of like a tomato skin takes a long time. Peppers, sometimes cucumbers, skins you'll see, quite a few days after a nice feeding. Wow. These guys are just packed in this area. I'm loving it. This is great. Yeah, I think that's another one of those stalks from the comfrey. A couple dry bits of leaves. That's one of the other reasons why I do like to incorporate the bin a little bit. I don't know if you can see down here, these tracks, they just kind of pack in with moisture and castings. So I like to get down there to kind of aerate it, but also it gives me a chance to really incorporate any either dry or bits that haven't started breaking down kind of properly in this bin. Yeah, here's a couple more of those stalks. And all I'm really doing is just taking my finger, man, and just little pockets of worms everywhere. I'm very pleased with how this bin's looking. I need to see where some of these cobs are so I can get them definitely back into the feeding area. And let me look to see how some of this side's looking. I do have some fresh bedding, so I'll give this a quick mix and see how everything's looking and kind of start nudging all this material over too. Looks like a big pile of leaves there. And there's a little pocket of worms that was right down in one of those grooves. See, here's another. Couple worms right in here. I just can't get over that. That's awesome. So this bin was my original red wiggler bin that I started almost 6 years ago. It was April of 2020 is when I started this bin. Well, at least the premise of this bin. So the worms that are the original red wigglers are no longer here. I started it with 2 containers of red wigglers from a bait shop, and then I went into my compost pile and I believe I picked out another like 50. So it was about 100 worms that started this original bin when I first got going and started. Nice handful of leaves for these guys. And I got a good amount of food, so this is probably, I'm probably going to be leaning towards more like a 3-week feeding on this one, because I will be going away on Friday to visit my brother. These guys will have plenty of opportunity to break all this down. Luckily I just seen that, so I don't forget to put that back in the middle. So got lettuce that expired in the fridge. Got some more celery. Ooh, but I'm not giving them all this. Maybe. I'll give them that much. I got some grapes that went bad. We put it in the freezer. So there's like some mold. So with the grapes, I do like to try to squeeze them a little bit. So I'm going to fast forward you through this. So with this, my goal is not to make wine and let it ferment. I want the worms to be able to get to them a little quicker. And then last but not least, I got them some pumpkin. Trying to make sure with this feeding, and like I said, I'm going to give them a little time to work this over. It may be 2 weeks. I'll definitely look in if it looks like there's still either a lot of fresh leaves or if there's still any food scraps. I may let it go that extra week. I'm going to add my eggshells like I normally do. Ground up eggshells. This is a good grit source for the worms. As the worms go ahead and take little bites, that gets into their crop and their gizzard and helps to actually digest the food for them. I have my K-Cups coffee grounds. A couple of those guys still. Make sure I tuck them under. That was some of the comfrey leaves. And then finally on top, as the microbes go to break down those food scraps, I'm going to go ahead and give the worms a little bit of the worm chow. This is expired oats pulverized in a blender with flour, cornmeal, and a little bit of pulverized eggshell too. I do get a lot of questions about typically how much I'm putting on. It can be anywhere from about a ½ ounce up to 2 ounces, depending on the size of the bin. This is like a little 6-ounce container that I had filled up, and I've done 3 feedings since I started with it. So I've probably only used maybe about 2 ounces in 3 feedings. So it's not a lot. It's more of like an amendment, a bonus, a snack, however you want to look at it. That is not their main food source. As the microbes are going after the food scraps that are in there, the worms can eat this. They can get a little bit of nutrition from this, and this is available for the worms right now. So this they don't have to wait for. As I said, when they start squirming around, they can go right after this. I'm going to go ahead and pop this cover back on. I'm going to look to see. Yeah, see how there's a nice big hole? So there are some of like the pill bugs in here. So they're chewers and shredders. And then, oh, there's 1, 2 right there. So they start breaking it down, and then the worms come along and start chewing along too. So pretty happy with that. This is a great way to mark your feedings. You know, you can have it so the worms are traveling back and forth. As you've seen, I just kind of feed on one side, but I try to turn everything just to give a little aeration to the bin. If you guys have any questions, make sure you drop it down in the comments below. Thanks for coming along, checking out the video. Everybody have a great day.